Well, as TJ was exiting the building throwing up, I walked in and I told our guys, I said, we got 6, Liam, be ready, and let's make it a great story. And it is. I'm really proud of our group. A lot of different guys stepping forward and making plays to get out of here with a win. Great for Prentice. And Johnny Mooney continues to just be a flat-out man and put on a show. But all 6 of them, all 6 of them are happy about their playing time today. They're all happy.
Can you walk through what happened with TJ? He warmed up as usual.
Yeah, we had a shoot around at 8:30, like we usually do with these noon games. We come in at 8:30, shoot around, walk through for about 30 minutes. He was fine, and I knew he was out there about 25 minutes before the game. Kind of migraine symptoms, headaches behind the eye, and was nauseous. And tried to get him ready, and there's just no way. So we sent him. He left. He was in the hotel. We sent him back to the Morris Inn, and that's 20 minutes before. Obviously, Juwan's situation, the ankle that he hurt pretty badly. If you remember the fall at Virginia Tech, he tweaked it a little bit against Syracuse. It did not respond very well this week. My feeling is, let's see if we can get it healthy before we start playing him again. We'll reevaluate that on Monday. We'll definitely have TJ back Tuesday. I'm not sure if we'll have Juwan back yet.
Did he practice at all?
He tried to, and it just was really tender. So he just couldn't lift, and he couldn't. And Skip and I and Doc Yergler talked about it yesterday morning, and I said, if he can't be who he is, flying around and blocking shots and doing, we can't play him. Like, I want to get him healthy, and if that means he's got to rest even longer than a couple games, like if to rest him to get him ready for February, we got to. That's how we got to do it.
Were you determined to keep the red shirt on with Doherty regardless, or did you
it was
consideration?
It was consideration. He's dressed. I went into the game thinking, let's really do it with 6. Liam, I told to be ready. I actually had Liam, and maybe I jinxed the situation. I put Liam in a white shirt this morning in some of our movement, just in case. And so I told him to be ready. And again, the way the game started, because we had, I felt, okay, we don't have to really go to Chris. But that's a day-to-day evaluation right now, given Juwan's situation.
When you lose your top scorer 20 minutes before a game, is that the ultimate wing it?
Yeah.
Forget it. We just have
to
to
play. And I was going to bring Prentice off the bench.
Right.
I just was going to try something different, to help him. We've done that before. And then he starts and plays 40 minutes, and we start 3 freshmen. And I told myself, I was like, nobody gives us a shot with what's going on. Let's be a great story. Let's just play. And I'm very proud of our young guys. I thought the 3 freshmen all really delivered for us. And Prentice needed that. He needed I know they played off him and made him shoot it, and he's a better shooter than where he's been the first couple league games. So hopefully his confidence is up.
What about the performance of Joko and what he gave
Big
you
minutes. Big minutes, and we're going to have to continually still rely on him, especially rebounding the ball and his size on the court. He got deflections. We were really good in our zone. Like, we played zone pretty much, the whole game, and, he was good in it. And Nick gave us great minutes, and, Nick's had a great attitude. He wasn't part of the rotation early. He is now. He deserves to have a good year coming off for us because he's such a great kid.
The plan at the start of the season, everything was kind of fluid anyway.
Yeah.
And even that hasn't come to fruition as people have fallen by the wayside. I'm kind of curious about you and the staff and how your mindset evolves as all of this unfolds in front of you.
Yeah, I think we are listed day to day as well. Because there's never really any plan, right? That's true. There's never really any plan. You come in and and injury this, and you know, you're thinking, okay, last week we're kind of in training camp mode, tweaked some things with our zone, added a different zone. You saw us playing a little bit of a 1-3-1, did some different stuff, and you know, then you're just not really able to use all the things you talked about all week. So I just you know, you got to ride through stuff like this and hang in there, and it was certainly important to get a league win, because 0-3 is a heck of a hole.
What was the locker room like afterwards?
Really good, really good. They were great, celebrating as they should, and I, you know, I told them, I said, you know, we talked about being a great story. This is a great story. I mean, we've had a lot of good wins here, and I know that not a ranked team, but I'm really proud of our group as we're trying to figure this thing out.
So you say you don't, you know, when Hub was going through 3 for 35, you don't dwell on it too much and talk to him about it, so you treat this the same way when he hits 3 in the first half?
Yeah, I think, you know, with guys that I think he's, you know, I think I mentioned to you, through 55 practices, he shot 38% from the three-point line. So, you know, you know, guys that can't shoot, you know, that'll play out over 55 practices, you know, 38% clip. And I also know what he did for us here is what he did for us against some games early. He scored in the first half for us to help us. He had double digit a couple times in December, and that looked familiar again today. And I know they dared him, and I love the fact that he stepped up and took it. So, you know, him scoring for us we need it. We need it.
Mike, talk about the defense, keeping the opposition off the free throw line. That made a difference.
Yeah, well, we've been good there. You know, I mean, we don't turn it over. We don't put you on the foul line. That, you know, we're still trying to figure out how to score and who scores for us. But that always gives us a chance, you know, because we're not putting you on the foul line to get easy points, and we're not throwing the ball away too much. We're good with the ball, so it always kind of keeps us within striking distance. And I was glad to see us do what we did from the foul line. You know, I think we're a really, really good free throw shooting team, even though we haven't been in the first 2 league games.
Moving forward, what kind of a step is this for a young team to kind of figure it out down the stretch?
No, it's huge. I mean, it's huge. You know, like for those young guys to play those minutes and be part of it. You know, all 3 of those freshmen are feeling really good about having a big part in a league win, and making plays. And I'll take those looks that Leshevsky got in Chapel Hill, because he's going to make a bunch of those. But so it's hopefully some growth today. But I'm really proud of our group.
Did you ever have only 6 guys coaching Morgan's
Never.
JV team?
Yeah. I had more. Boy, we pulled out all the karma today. We had Coach Wooten. We had Bob Whitmore. And Jack Nolan had a good point. I guess it's only fitting that a guy from the DC pipeline makes the free throws, right, to win the game at the end. But no, I've never had 6 guys, and but we're gonna get to at least 7 by tomorrow night.
You look down at their bench at one point and say, "Where are all these uniforms are on the bench?" You got 13,
we got
you got 3.
we don't have as many guys dressed, right, and of course Chris is dressed, which is a total violation of a Morgan Wooten thing. He said, if you're not gonna play a guy, don't dress him, because then you're not tempted to throw him in the game. And I thought about that today when I saw him sitting over there. I said, Coach probably said, well, why is he dressing? If you know that, don't have him dressed if you may play him. So I'm glad my discipline, I didn't put him in there yet.
Mike, you've been working, I mean, I assume you've been working more on zone anyway.
Yeah.
With a shorter rotation, so you're almost exclusive.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be a big part of us moving forward. We started the game in it. We changed, you know, one of the things we did was we this past week was add a little bit of a 1-3-1 entry to our 23, and we used that in the second half, and that helped us too a little. So we're going to have to play a lot of zone to keep guys on the floor and keep guys from not getting overly fatigued chasing ball screens and stagger screens.
Mooney had a career high in points tonight. What has allowed him to take his game to the next level this year?
You know, he is the same guy every day. He's really mature and was as a freshman, knows who he is, committed, he deserves it how he invested really the first 2 seasons with us. As we've had a lot of these guys as juniors blossom like this, he was a guy, if you watch through the summer, you're saying it should come. It's been even better than I thought.
Everything as expected with Rex's surgery?
Yeah, everything went great on Friday. No surprises, very straightforward ACL, clean tear. So he'll start his rehab.
Was he in the locker room?
He was. He got in the locker room. I didn't know if he was going to stay for the whole game because he's pretty sore, but he was in there, and he's been great. Even behind the bench, before I got into timeouts, he was Dane, Prentice, grabbing different guys. He's fabulous. He's been awesome.
What was it like having Whitmore around the team this
It was
week,
neat.
and what does he mean to the Notre Dame?
Yeah, well, it's interesting that we honored some guys up in those rafters. No one's brought a bigger contingent because everyone loves this guy. Ryan Humphrey turned to me yesterday because we had a full house at practice. We gave him the ring after practice. Ryan Humphrey goes, they love this guy. Dice Martin is here. Dice Martin he said, I don't stay at Notre Dame if it wouldn't be for Bob Whitmore, as a grad assistant and a mentor to me. Adrian Dantley wouldn't have stayed here if it wouldn't be for Bob Whitmore. Toby Knight. Dice Martin went through all the guys Bob Whitmore made sure, and they hung in there when they were struggling here. And then you look at his numbers. It's staggering what he did, with his numbers. And I showed a picture yesterday to our players of the opening tap 50 years ago in the building when he's going up against Lou Alcindor, against Kareem. Now, this tells you the age group of the guys I'm coaching. So I showed a picture, and I say 50 years, and Bob's people are all behind him, and then I present the ring. So I'm telling the guys this is 50 years ago, and I actually said, Johnny D used the Joyce Center. I said, Johnny D lied to these guys here about a new arena like I lied to you about a practice facility, to get you guys to come. Johnny D used it. He used the Joyce Center as a hook. We're getting out of the field house. All these guys were telling me it's an awesome story. And I said, do you recognize who Bob's jumping against? Crickets. My players, crickets. They don't know Lou Alcindor, Kareem. They don't know Kareem. I'm like, I'm getting old, man. I'm getting old.
Did you tell him because of that guy, people weren't allowed to dunk?
Yeah, no, we went through it then. But we got a reception with Bob, and it's neat to have him. And it was neat to see Coach Wooten. And I haven't seen him in a while, and a great mentor. It was kind of neat during the game to glance over there and see him. That's a lot of pressure.